Thank you for the generosity of your time last week. I enjoyed our conversation very much, and I always appreciate being ahead of Senator Sullivan so I can be the first senator to use the word Arctic, albeit a little different context. But obviously the Arctic is getting a lot more attention, as you and I spoke. It's getting more attention from the Russian military. It's getting more attention from the China military. Obviously, it's becoming an important domain. And strategic has great strategic value. And with that in mind, obviously good intelligence, surveillance, reconnaissance work is becoming more important. And as that region gets busier, and I know one of the options that the Navy is looking at to fill its requirements is the MQ-4C Triton, as you and I talked about. And the Triton is a similar variant to the Global Hawks that we fly out of the Grand Forks Air Force Base. And in North Dakota. In fact, between our existing expertise, communications architecture, contractor presence, runway, and base infrastructure, the ground-based detect and avoid radar, and our proximity to the Arctic. Yes, Grand Forks is close to the Arctic. I think Grand Forks would be a really smart choice for operating something like the Triton on an Arctic ISR mission. When confirmed, can you commit to fresh thinking when it comes to new and evolving missions and looking at all of the best options for where to execute Navy missions, and not just the traditional options or only Navy bases?
Senator, first let me thank you for your commitment to the Arctic. The Arctic isn't just an issue of national security, it's an issue of economic security to our nation. It's incredibly important the Navy Marine Corps team remain fully engaged in the Arctic. I am also a supporter of commitment to our nuclear triad in every possible way. As you know, the Navy plays a very key, important role in maintaining the nuclear triad. And as you know, Columbia is our #1 procurement priority in the United States Navy. And if confirmed, I commit to you that I will remain committed to both the Arctic and our nuclear triad.
At a conference last week, Mr. Del Toro, Rear Admiral Mike Studeman, the top intelligence officer in the Indo-PACOM, said that naval intelligence officials sum up the current situation with China in 2 words used by Douglas MacArthur in discussing the failure to head off World War II, and those 2 words are too late. Admiral Studeman said that it's too late in comprehending the deadly purpose of a potential enemy, too late in realizing the mortal danger, too late in preparedness, too late in uniting all possible forces for resistance. Do you agree with Admiral Studeman's assessment that we're too late in confronting China, as he mentioned, and what would you do as Secretary of the Navy to address this assessment?
Well, Senator, as I stated in my initial opening statement, China is our #1 pacing threat and our greatest threat, not just to our national security, but to our economic security as well. I tend to be an optimist. I do not believe that we're too late. I think what we need to do now and moving forward is make the right investments so that we can deter China in every possible way, part of the Navy Marine Corps team working with our joint forces in the Indo-Pacific theater and across the world. So I tend to be an optimist, Senator. I think there's many opportunities that lie ahead, and if confirmed as Secretary of the Navy, I hope to dive in maybe head first or perhaps feet first, not quite sure yet, but I hope to dive in quickly to resolve some of these issues that we're facing.
Well, whether head first or feet first, you'll be up to your, head for sure.
Yes, sir.
But thank you for that. I was going to ask about new technologies and rigorous engineering, but the chairman handled that one very well. Thank you for your answer. Ms. Miller, I know that the deputy comptroller job doesn't directly include the responsibilities of acquisition reforms. However, with your future responsibilities over budget, obviously in fiscal matters, your past responsibilities over planning and execution of all those things, I want to ask for some help in thinking about how to fix a problem that I see, and that is the problem of protests and lawsuits. Some of the protests and lawsuits can delay or even cancel a very important program, and of course, just recently the most recent victim is the JEDI program, which has now been canceled. And in fact, I would submit to you that some of these protests and lawsuits do a more effective job of holding up our progress than our enemies could do if they were working that hard at it. So if it's a lawsuit that goes before a judge that doesn't either have an understanding or maybe a commitment to the same things that our military has a commitment to, it becomes even worse. I'm just wondering, from a comptroller perspective, how does a program that gets delayed indefinitely or canceled affect military readiness? And do you have any thoughts, at least for today, that we can start thinking about and how we might be able to fix this?
Well, Senator, thank you for that question. You raise a really important point about how do we continue to deliver cutting-edge technology quickly to our fighting forces, and how do we do so economically? And certainly, I am not a lawyer, so I tread hesitantly upon the ground of legal controversies with contracting. But I would say that at the present, we have to follow the rule of law in terms of contracts and contract disputes, and that there may be room inside of there for relooking that, given the kinds of delays that we have experienced moving forward. I also believe that there are a number of alternative contracting capabilities. OTAs in particular have been used incredibly effectively recently as we've moved forward through the COVID response. And I believe looking at other alternative contracting authorities that have already been granted by this body would be an important part of looking at how to streamline our contracting and acquisition processes going forward. So, sir, if confirmed, I'd be happy to dig into that a little bit more with my colleagues in acquisition and bring forward some additional ideas.
I appreciate all that. I do appreciate your optimism, and all those alternatives still get menaced by lawyers, of which you dodged that bullet, I understand. But thank you.